Okay, let's move on to the Liberal Democrats. At the beginning of the campaign, hopes were high for Jo Swinson. She was even talking about being the next Prime Minister. Well, I'm afraid those hopes are beginning to fade. And the reason for that is first past the post. First past the post is absolutely brutal at crushing small parties like the Liberal Democrats. If we cast our mind back to 1983 and the ill-fated SDP Liberal Alliance, they managed to poll a quarter of the vote, and yet they got 3.5% of the seats. And so what the Liberal Democrats need to do is to close this credibility gap. Nobody votes for them because they don't believe they can win. So locally, they've been campaigning in a small number of seats. But the news in those seats isn't particularly good. And it's not particularly good for two reasons. The first is you no longer have as many tactical Labour voters as you used to have, because Jo Swinson, as she found out in the TV debates a couple of weeks ago, she took part in a coalition with the Conservatives. So persuading Labour voters in Conservative Liberal Democrat marginals to vote for the Liberal Democrats is proving difficult. So they've lost their status as a protest party. Okay? They've also failing to win over Remain Conservatives, those Conservatives who voted Conservative reluctantly in 2017. They voted Remain in the EU referendum, and they do not like Jeremy Corbyn. They do not like Jeremy Corbyn, and they are frightened of a Jeremy Corbyn government. And it seems, if you'll excuse the pun, that fear of Corbyn is trumping the ability of these Remain Conservatives to switch to Liberal Democrats. So without tactical Labour voters on the one hand, and tactical Remain Conservatives on the other, moving to the Liberal Democrats, they are toast, I'm afraid. They are toast. So any hopes of a Liberal Democrat revival at this election, they started 2017 with 12 seats, they'll be lucky to get a handful of seats at this election. And you heard it here first.